It's time to cancel your ChatGPT subscription. Don't get me wrong, ChatGPT is amazing, but for 99% of use cases, it's not needed and you don't need a paid subscription. So in today's video, I will show you around 7 alternative tools that you can use for free. As we know, ChatGPT has a lot of features. It also has a free version that works quite well. However, when you hit the limit, you will have to find alternatives to do specific tasks. I'm going to get started with the most known ones, and then I'm going to niche down to ones that I think are super important to have in your tool case. So the first one, of course, is Cloe. You can sign up on Cloe using your Gmail account, and you can also use it for free generations as well. Cloe also has a subscription. You probably know it. It works quite well. Sometimes it works even better than ChatGPT. However, the free generations are quite limited, and I would highly suggest that you use Cloe for coding tasks mainly. One of the things that I like about Cloe is that you can select the exact format for the responses that you want. Another free tool that you can use is Gemini by Google. You can also get started and use the new Gemini 2.0 Plus experimental one, which is supposedly even better than ChatGPT 4.0. So this is another great alternative by Google. The only problem that I have with this is that a lot of times it writes city, it writes pretty much bullshit responses because they try to make it safe. So I usually don't really use it. For people that work on the web, you can find two applications that are very niche down and can help you code quite fast. So one of these is bolt.new. Write a Next.js 14 frontend for an application that could go viral. Make sure it does not need backend. Use only Tailwind CSS and TypeScript. So in order to use Bolt, you will again have to use your Google account or your email. So in order to use it, you either have to use GitHub or log in with your email. Because I know that most people don't know it, I will run an example so we can see the result of Bolt. And I will do the same for the next language models that I will show to you today in this video. So here we can see the code and we can see the exact file structure of our application, which is pretty nice. This is a very focused development LLM, or let's say even better agent, because it really is an agent at the end of the day. It also offers you to enhance the prompt using AI. So what it does, it improves the prompt so the LLM can give you better results. This is something that I would love the other three models mentioned up to now, that they have this capability. So here you can see exactly the steps it takes, and it shows you exactly the things it does, how it works around these things. So what it did was an AI face swap application. So here we would supposedly be able to see the preview. So we should be waiting for it to generate the preview. Sometimes this works, the preview feature works, sometimes it doesn't work. But here you can see the exact layout, all of the code over here, and all of the things it does. I have used it to, put up an application that works quite well. So this is AI face swap application. Here you can see what kind of models arise from this, and you can use it to prompt it with one click to fix those problems. But you can see here that the UI looks quite nice, really. I really think it's a very nice result. Another application that you can use for pretty much the same thing, that is very connected to Next.js because it's from the official team of Next.js, is Versal V0. So again, you can use your GitHub or some kind of other coding account to sign in. And I will go back into bolt.new results in a little bit, but let's continue. So here you can write pretty much the same thing. Again, all of these models are free, but they have a limit that you can use every day. It just makes sense. We want to have multiple tools so that we don't have to pay for any specific one. So let's see the result of Bolt. It should start loading here. We can see exactly the same thing for V0. It does the exact same procedure, and let's see what the result will be, and we can compare. So this is the AI face swap. It fixed the error. So I'm going to put like this image over here and put this image over here, and I'm going to click to swap faces. I don't know if it can do actually this work. So this is the result. Probably they've added like a placeholder over here. So we don't see any result. Probably the API is not working. It's just dummy because we have not put any I key or whatever. So you can see that the result is beautiful. It looks really good, and you only have to implement the functionality. Here we can see the viral meme generator from Next.js. So you can select like Drake, ha ha ha, lol, generate meme, and I don't know if the result will be generated or something. Maybe the problem is that we don't have like the image over here on the console. We see no error, so I don't know. Here by clicking code you can actually see the code and how it works. You can do fixes or whatever you maybe need to do so. So yeah, the image probably is not working because there actually is no image locally. So maybe we can say fetch image from online, select whatever image you want for the showcase. And here it shows you exactly what it created. So this is also very nice. Also, it cites resources which you can look into to enhance your knowledge of the application and the things it does. So that's also very, very nice. But I really like all of these tools in order to create front-end applications out of the box. These work super well. Another one that I like but I don't use anymore is Perplexity. This was one of the first agent tools that allowed search on the web with high quality. You can select exactly what your focus is. And you know, I'm really going to say, find me 10 viral front-end applications to code in Next.js. So that's what I'm going to do. Click the button to start running this prompt, and it also gives you citations, previews. This is very good for this kind of thing, searching the web, citing resources. And here you can see exactly the results. I would not say that the results are what exactly I like, but still it looks good. Please, I only want front-end based apps, no backend, no database. All right, so hopefully it will give us better results. And here is the result. This is the original meme, ha ha ha, ha ha ha. And boom, you got the meme generator working. This is nice. This is pretty nice with a little bit of beautification. Please make the UI more beautiful, load more images from the web, and make sure to include aspect ratio options, as well as options for text centering. All right, so let's enhance these prompts. Let's try these models out. So here we got static portfolio website, blog site, landing page, documentation site, single page application, recipe application. This is a beautiful result. Everyone says it. Interactive quiz, countdown timers. I really like this idea. Photo gallery or CSS animation showcase. All right, interesting things. So I want to see the result of Versal before we move into the final 3 projects. So let's let it run a little bit. But you can see already that these tools have their specific niche. We can say that they're vertical AI agents because they focus on a very specific field. They produce a very specific solution. So let's see what the result is. Let's see. While we do that, I also want to show you DeepThink. I really like this platform, and I'm going to go with DeepThink, which is a little bit like O1 series from ChatGPT that they think and iterate over the prompt. So I want to create a headless browser that parses a page, gets the input box, and download button puts in the text that I give from a Next.js request into a fast API backend. Then it clicks download and I send the file to the front-end user. Make sure to make it as efficient as possible. So this is a functionality that I want to create. I want to make a data scraper that gets me videos downloaded through external websites. And this is going to start to give me all the commands, all of the things to do. And you can see how this specific thing works. Here, we can also see the result of Versal, and it's a lot better. This is a very high quality viral meme generator. Absolutely love it. Haha. Haha. Let's select square, center, boom, and we got a meme. This is not really square, but I really like this. This seems quite, I think it's quite nice. This meme generator seems quite nice. I really love this. I will implement it on the website that I've got. It's down below in the description, and you will be able to use this viral meme generator there. Make sure to check it out and tell me if you like it. I will, implement more things to make it more good looking. Also, I will try and do this AI face swap thing in the future. Maybe I will get a page placeholder over here. Tell me also if you want me to create one of these kind of applications. These all seem super interesting. And this is the result that DeepThink gives us. So I will have to check it out and see if it works. And maybe I will put a utility on our website that does this exact thing. But yeah, all of these things give you a good basis for your development. Let's also try LamaCoder that also has DeepThink v3 in here, Llama 3.1, 3.3, and Coder. So I'm going to go with DeepThink v3 and I'm going to type the exact same prompt. Create a simple Next.js website, takes an input and through button click. All right, so I'm going to get started with this. Create a Next.js website. Takes an input through button click, sends it to a fast API. This fast API will then use a headless browser to parse a website and do the request. All right, so I'm going to do something that maybe is not good to do. YouTube downloader. So let's do YouTube thumbnail grabber. So I want parse. Okay, so I want you to parse this website, which is a thumbnail grabber. And let's see if we can do. Okay, and do the request. Fill in the input box on the site, grab the lowest quality thumbnail and return its preview to the front end. Okay, so this is very hard. This is very hard for the LLM to do and get this result. This is a very hard task. I don't expect it to be able to do it correctly, but we will give this a huge check. It's a big check. This is LamaCoder. I really love this application. And let's see how well it can perform with this very hard task, guys. This is not an easy task to ask an LLM to do. This is a very hard task, but you can see everything filling in. You will be able to see a preview. And also another tool that I really like is this Qwen LLM chat that also has Qwen at coding for coding. So this is the same thing, and I will give it exactly the same prompt. I will also add artifacts so it generates a preview. So let's see how they perform. So get a thumbnail. Let's put one of my videos. Let's put my previous video in here. I don't think it will work. It will probably crash. But again, the important thing is that it gives us a preview of how everything works. Get thumbnail. The get thumbnail thing is not working. And this is like the code that it gives us. So make sure to implement and run the backend for the headless browser. All right, so I don't think it's going to be able to do it. All right, they will say we will use Node.js with Puppeteer. This is the correct solution. This is the correct approach. So you may want to break these tasks into step by step so it doesn't forget some kind of things. So let's see the result of Next.js. So LamaCoder was able to go about it instantly. Get thumbnail. So I guess this is not working. But again, it does some kind of prompt, some kind of request over here, as we can see. But probably, let's see actually the code. So go to URL submit, assuming the input field. All right, please parse the website. All right, so we want it to parse this website, find the correct fields and fill them in the code. So this is probably a prompt that we will need also for the other tool. So import express, could not find dependency, try to fix. So again, these tools are not made to run a backend browser. At least this one is not made to run these things. So, okay, let's copy this error. Let's go back to code. And it has completely crashed because you try to run like a backend through this service, which is not probably allowed. But again, you can see how easily you can create very simple applications using these tools. And this is something beautiful to witness and see. So I'm really interested into seeing, all right, so this setup, all right. So it parsed, probably. It parsed the website. That would be very interesting if you can data scrape with LLMs. So this is like the label, this is input URL. Oh, it actually was able to get it. And this is the submit button. Okay, so it says grab button. It says grab button, probably this is wrong, but we're going to give it a try. We're not going to be biased against it. So get URL, let's try this out. I'm really interested into seeing how these guys over at Qwen were able to use a backend. So the input is, all right, so let me give them the input. So the input is this ID input URL. The input box is ID input URL. All right. Let me help the model a little bit. Input URL caps only, input URL. The button is ID. All right. Submit button. All right. Let me help it because it seems like it can go a step further. And then the image box that pops up after is ID maxFres. All right. So let's give this a try. This could be absolutely super exciting. If it can make it work, I would be so excited to see this result. Being able to grab a thumbnail using an external service, this could be insane, really. This could be absolutely insane. So let's see. Let's see if it can. If it replaced the fields, it did, and it waits for selector. Wow. If this thing works, I don't know what to tell you guys, in all honesty. In all honesty, I don't know what to tell you if this works. So is it working or is it not? I don't know. But the code seems correct. Try to bypass any site restrictions. Right, so let's give this a try. Bypassing restrictions, however, should be able. All right, so you can see here all of these arguments that it tries to enhance the prompt to make it able to scrape really. So it explains also why it adds these considerations. So wow, this could actually work if they allow us to run the backend. All right, so maybe I will have to run this thing on my own backend, but again, being able to write all of these things makes it super, super exciting in my opinion. So yeah, this is it. Hopefully you found this video interesting. You've seen something new, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.